Today I have an SAT reading tip for you that deals with words in context questions. So words in context questions are pretty easy to tell because they end in most nearly means. So what they're going to do is they're going to direct you to some line in the passage, in this case line 14. They're going to ask you about a word and ask you what it most nearly means. Now, when approaching these questions, the strategy that I recommend using and that I use to score 1590 on the SAT is when you have a most nearly means question, don't look at your answer choices until after you've gone back to the line that it directs you to, read the sentence, and come up with your own answer first. By coming up with your own answer first, it's going to help you not be swayed or get stuck between two answer choices and not know which one to pick. So in this case, let's go ahead and take a look at how I would approach this. So I'd read it, I'd say, as used in line 14, simple most nearly means. I'd go to line 14 and find the word simple, and I'd come up with what I think it would mean in that context. So let's go back to line 14, and let's find simple. We see that we have line 14 on the right side of my screen. We have, but change the conversation to food, and suddenly efficiency doesn't look so good. Conventional industrial agriculture has become incredibly efficient on a simple land-to-food basis. So in this case, it's talking about a simple land-to-food basis. Another word that we could use there would be straightforward, right? We want to talk about it being a land-to-food basis only, right? So on a straightforward land-to-food basis, we wouldn't want to use any other word than straightforward. Really, there's nothing else that would mean that it's only on that land-to-food basis or that food-to-land basis. So let's go down, take a look at our question. We see we do have straightforward as an answer choice, so thus that would be our answer. Now let's say that we didn't come up with straightforward. Let's say we came up with a, let's say that we thought pure was going to be our correct answer on a pure land-to-food basis, right? We obviously would then go through and we look at our options and find which was closest to pure. Now in this case, the closest to pure would also be straightforward, so then we would get to straightforward as well, right? We look at option B, it says modest. We're not talking about a modest land-to-food basis. We're talking about a straightforward, a simple, or a pure land-to-food basis. We wouldn't say unadorned and we wouldn't say easy either. We want to be talking about something that is a pure land-to-food basis, nothing else but that. So straightforward or pure. So obviously you want to come up with straightforward. If you got it right away, that's perfect. If you came up with pure, then you would be looking for something that, or a word that means the same as pure, which in this case straightforward does as well. So next, let's go ahead and do another example of this one. So let's go down and let's find question 29. So question 29 is another words in context question. It says in line 88, sheer most nearly means what? So obviously the words most nearly means tell us it's going to be a words in context question. We're directed to line 88, and we are asked for for sheer. So let's go ahead and take a look. So let's go to line 88, find sheer. Got line 88. All right, so I'll highlight it so you can see it. So we've got, but for delivering sheer calories, especially in our stable crops of wheat, rice, maize, soybeans, and so on, conventional farms have the advantage right now. Okay, so in this context, we're talking about sheer calories. And if you want to get a little bit more context, it's always okay to read a little bit more behind, so you could read that part as well that I'm highlighting right now. But in this case, we're talking about sheer calories, but for sheer calories or pure calories or calories only. So the most nearly means I'd be looking for here would be pure calories or solely calories for delivering solely calories, but solely wouldn't work here because when we're using the word sheer, we also want to make sure that it's the same type of word as pure, right? We're describing the calories, thus it's an adjective, so we want to use an adjective there as well if possible. So in this case, we'd be looking for the word pure if that is an option. Let's take a look. Okay, we're talking about pure calories or sheer calories. We want nothing but the calories and we want them in a bulk amount. So we see we do have pure, so pure would be our correct answer there. Let's go ahead and run through. Let's say that we didn't come up with pure. Let's say we came up with solely, right? We wanted to describe it as being only calories. Well, let's go ahead and look at why A through C would be wrong then. So if we didn't come up with pure, let's say we came up with a different word such as solely calories, or only calories, we can go ahead and use process of elimination, get rid of A through C. So I'll go ahead and take you through that. So option A, transparent. We wouldn't describe them as transparent calories because transparent essentially means see-through, and that's not a good way to describe the calories. Abrupt calories, we wouldn't describe calories as abrupt. Steep, we would not describe calories as steep either. We want something that's showing that they are sheer calories or only calories. That's all we're looking at. They are pure calories. There's only calories that we are considering. Okay, so then by process of elimination, even if we didn't come up with pure right away and we came up with solely or only calories, we obviously can get rid of A through C because they would not work, and C, D would be our correct answer because it's the only choice that shows that we are only talking about calories, the pure calories, meaning most nearly to sheer. All right, so I got one more example of this for you. This is going to be with question 37. So let's go find question 37. Okay, we've got as used in line 85, boost most nearly means what? So let's go ahead and go up to line 85. We'll find boost and we'll come up with what it most nearly means before reading our answer choices. So we have, will companies be able to boost their products by manipulating online ratings on a massive scale? Okay, so this passage, you would obviously have context going into it because you would have read it. This passage is talking about online reviews and how they can be swayed by user choice and how companies could potentially use that to boost their products. Now, boost in this case would most nearly mean market or promote. Okay, they want to use those to market or promote their products. So I'd be looking for either of those. Promote would be a better choice in my opinion because it's really relating more to boost. Market is a little bit of a worse choice than promote in my opinion. So first choice would be promote if we have that. Market would be second choice. So we go down and we see that we do have promote. So our answer there would be C for number 37. Obviously market is not an answer choice, so we don't have to worry about it. But let's say that you did come up with market and you didn't come up with promote, right? Obviously you would see that market means very, very close to promote and nothing else really means anything close to market, so then you would get promote anyways. But I'll go ahead and show you why A, B, and D are wrong as well right now. We wouldn't say to increase. Right, and I'm going to show you why real quick by going back to the text. Keep in mind, you can always go back to the text. It's very, very useful on the SAT reading section. We wouldn't say, will companies be able to increase their products? Because we're not talking about increasing their products. That's really vague, and it doesn't tell us exactly what we're doing. We want to be specific when we can on the SAT reading section. So anytime we can be more specific, we want to do it. So in this case, promote would be way more specific than increase, because saying increase their products doesn't tell us if it's talking about customer sales or increasing the size of the product or quantity sold or anything like that. So our answer there would not be increase. Accelerate, same thing. It's not telling us what, we wouldn't say accelerate their products. Okay, you can't accelerate a product. That would be if you were just to kind of throw a product and it move faster. Okay, that doesn't work like that. So we would not use the word accelerate to describe boosting or marketing or promoting our sales of a product. Next, protect. Obviously, we would not protect product either. We're looking to promote it or market it. So our answer there would be C. So for most nearly means questions, obviously they are words and context questions, which means you always want to use the text. Whenever you have a most nearly means question, don't try to do it from memory. If you try to do it from memory or try to just guess synonyms, you're going to get it wrong. A lot of times they'll put synonyms as one of your answer choices just because they think that you'll pick it without going back and looking at the text, and the synonym will end up being wrong. So don't just pick the synonym. If you don't know what a synonym is, it's just a word that has a similar meaning to another word. Don't just pick the synonym. Go back and look at what the word actually means in the context of the sentence. That's the only way to get these questions right consistently. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. Also make sure you come with your own answer choice first so you don't get stuck between two or are swayed by other answer choices. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.